Hi guys, I'm Miss Melissa here. How are you doing? Good to see everybody. We will once again wait a minute to make sure that we have some other people joining us. This is our finale. This is our last Miss Melissa Goes Live for this school year. So feel free to type your name in the chat box so we can see who's here. I hope you're having a great day today. We're going to start in a couple more seconds, and I think you'll enjoy what we're talking about today. Hi, Jasmine. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to use something that you received in your bags that we hadn't used during the time that we were home and we were doing our reading groups from home. And people had asked me, what are you using this? What are we going to use this one item for this year? And the item is Play-Doh. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Play-Doh that you received in your bag and a little bit of history about Play-Doh. I also made some homemade Play-Doh, and you can make it too. I will try to remember to link the recipe and the site that I where I found the recipe, so you can make it at home too. So, a couple facts about Play-Doh. First of all, I'm going to take the Play-Doh out real quick so you can see. This product initially wasn't used for kids or as a toy. Play-Doh was actually it was called something else, and the compound was used for removing soot or dirt from wallpaper. Lots of times now people just paint their walls, but some people put paper up on their walls, and a long time ago, instead of having electricity and the type of natural gas that we have now, people used coal, and they also used wood to heat their houses. And the soot would accumulate or stay on the walls of the wallpaper, and they would use this compound to clean the walls and get the soot off because it would stick to this. So what happened was the inventor of the Play-Doh, the people who owned the business, found out that people didn't need to use Play-Doh as often anymore because they were using electricity now, and electricity doesn't put soot on your walls. So the sister-in-law, and her name was, let me make sure I get the name right. Oh, sorry. The person who owned the business, his name was Joseph. And his sister-in-law was a preschool teacher, and she realized that she could use this Play-Doh because it was non-toxic, which meant it wasn't harmful for kids, that she could use this instead of modeling clay to make ornaments. She wanted to make ornaments with her preschool class for Christmas. So she realized that this was a safer way and a less messy way to make ornaments using this product. She was also the person who called it Play-Doh. Unfortunately, I don't have her name written down here. I thought I had her name written down. So in 1956, this became a toy called Play-Doh. There was only one color at the time. The only color was white. Then over some time, they had primary colors. They had red and blue and yellow. And then now you can find all types of colors of Play-Doh. I bet you could guess, well, I tried to say that again. I wonder if you could guess how many cans or types of containers of Play-Doh have been distributed throughout the world. How many have been sold? Anybody think 1 million? Anyone think 2 million? Over 3 billions with a B. 3 billion types of Play-Doh have been sold worldwide to date. And Play-Doh is so famous that it's in the Play-Doh Hall of Fame. So once again, you know how we like to look at our maps and study geography. You know where we live. Play-Doh was invented in the state of Ohio. So where you see the blue tag, that's the state of Ohio, and that's where Play-Doh was invented. The orange tag is New York, and that's where Play-Doh is in the museum because it's one of the national toy in the National Hall of Fame for toys. So a couple of things about Play-Doh. First of all, hopefully you still have your cans because I want you to create something with this a little later. But I thought I don't have much Play-Doh, and I decided to look for a recipe to make my own Play-Doh. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I made it. As I said, I'm going to try to remember to link the recipe on how to make homemade Play-Doh. So the first thing I did was I had a measuring cup, and in this measuring cup, this measures liquids, is a 2-cup measuring cup. So I used this, and I measured 3/4 cups of water. So 3/4 of a cup of water, and I put it in here. Then I took some lemon halves, I cut them in half, and I used this. This is my lemon juicer. Some people put lemons in, they have a lemon squeezer, and they can get lemon juice that way. But with my lemon juicer, I put the half of the lemon on top. Let's see if I can do this. I put the lemon half on top, and I squeeze it, and juice comes out through here. The reason it has this section is that's the section that catches all of the seeds in the lemon, and you only get the juice. So what I needed to do was I needed to take the water, and I needed to put in with the water that I got, I had to take out 3 tablespoons. So I had my measuring spoons, and I dumped out 3 tablespoons of water. I replaced those 3 tablespoons of water with the 3 tablespoons of lemon juice that I used from my juicer. I'm going to try to use a juicer real quick so you can see some lemon juice. So try to show you. See, the seeds are captured in there. And if you look, try to splash it around, that's the lemon juice. So it's straight lemon juice. The seeds are caught here. So I took 3 tablespoons, added it to the water. Then I put the water and lemon juice mixture in my microwave, and I set it for about 2.5 minutes till it was almost boiling. But it was really hot. So this was very hot. This is something you have to do with an adult. While that was in the microwave, I took a cup of flour, all-purpose flour, and I mixed it with a 1/4 cup of salt. This is kosher salt. Now these are dry ingredients, so I used a cup, and I used this measuring cup for dry ingredients. So I poured in the cup of flour, I poured in 1/4 or a 1/4 cup of salt into a bowl, and I mixed them together. After I mixed them together, I used the other ingredient that I needed for my Play-Doh, 2 packs of Kool-Aid. We've been sending you guys this. So this is a great use of Kool-Aid, but don't use it now. I want you guys to use the Kool-Aid as you're supposed to and make drinks out of it. But this is another use of Kool-Aid. I took the 2 packs of Kool-Aid. I slowly poured them in with the still hot water and lemon juice mixture, and I mixed it together. So once I poured in both of them, I then took my wet ingredients and slowly poured them in the big bowl with the flour and the salt. And then I took a wooden spoon and I mixed it and mixed it and mixed it. And then I also put some gloves on and I kneaded it, which means I pushed against it and kneaded it together for a while. Then the next thing I did is I used 1 tablespoon of oil and I mixed it in here and I kept kneading it together. Now I wish there was a way you could smell this because I use grape Kool-Aid. So it smells like grapes. It smells wonderful. You don't want to eat it. It's not toxic. It's not going to poison you, but you don't want to eat this. So I kneaded it all together. And that's how I made Play-Doh. So this Play-Doh is homemade. And it's similar to the Play-Doh that's in here. And the great thing about this Play-Doh, sometimes you find Play-Doh that requires some other ingredients. The ingredients I needed for this one was just flour, salt, oil, Kool-Aid, and lemon juice. Pretty simple recipe. As I said, we'll try to give you the recipe. So this is what I want you to do with the Play-Doh because you've been asking, what do you want me to do with the Play-Doh? I want you to think of the books that you've been reading in your reading groups. And I'd like you to create something that is, you can create a scene that you read in the book. You can create a character that you read about in the book. You can create something that represents the problem and the solution that was in the book. I'd like for you to use your Play-Doh to create something related to the stories you've been reading with your teachers. So I was thinking, one of my stories that I've been reading is about a main character who didn't know what to do didn't know what she wanted to do for a variety show or talent show. So I found these toys. I saved the toys for my kids for when they have kids. So I found these toys and I saw this person was playing an instrument and I found a little instrument here and there were 2 characters in the book that were going to play their instruments for the variety show. So what I thought I could do with my Play-Doh is I could take it and I could make it into the stage if I wanted to that they were going to play on. I could take the Play-Doh and turn it into another instrument. I could take the Play-Doh and actually turn it into another person who is going to do something in the variety show. So that was for one of the books that a group had read. Another group and I had read a book where they were talking about cookies and trying not to eat all the cookies. And I looked around my house and realized I had a cookie cutter. So I could take my Play-Doh, and if you have a cookie cutter, you can use the cookie cutter at home. And because these are all made from food items, so it's not going to harm your cookie cutters. And here, I made a cookie. I think they had chocolate chip. I could roll into little pieces of chips. And this, I could take a picture and send it of the chocolate chip cookie from the other story that we read that had to do with cookies. I could also try to make another character. One of the books we read was about squirrels. I can make a squirrel and give him a nice fuzzy tail like in the story and take a picture of that. What I want you to do with your Play-Doh is create something that represents the stories that you've been reading and send us the pictures. I hope that you have enjoyed the time with us. We've enjoyed the time with you. I hope you've learned a lot and you've learned more about the people that you had in your group, because I'm sure they've learned a lot about you. The great thing about reading groups is you get to hear other people's opinions, you get to support each other. So I am really happy that we were able to do this together. And I hope you play with your Play-Doh. Maybe you've already played with your Play-Doh, but I hope you play with your Play-Doh this summer. That's a great thing to play with, especially today. because I think it's going to rain and it's a great rainy day activity. Just make sure that you don't get it on the carpet. Be safe with it. One last thing I wanted to make with my Play-Doh is this. We've seen lots of symbols around, lots of symbols of peace and happiness. And I love to show this symbol because this is an important symbol for our group. This is a love symbol. As I've said every week, we love you. We are so happy you are part of our lives. We are so happy you're part of our program. I'm hoping everyone joins us for summer camp. We're going to do lots of different things and lots of fun things for summer camp. And I also want to see everybody in the fall. So you guys are great. You guys are wonderful people. I hope you've enjoyed our live sessions. I wanted to look one more time though, because I feel bad. I did not write down the sister-in-law's name, but I don't have her name on here. But you can also Google the history of Play-Doh. Don't look at Wikipedia. There's the Smithsonian has it, and also the National Hall of Fame for toys. They have great information about Play-Doh. Have a great summer, guys. This has been a lot of fun for me. I hope it's been a lot of fun for you. I'll see you soon. Bye.